sleep paralysis. That terrifying moment when you wake up but your body refuses to move. You try to scream, but your voice doesn't obey. Tonight, we'll listen to 3 real stories from people who have faced the thing that waits between sleep and consciousness. Turn off your lights and let's begin. I was 17 when I first experienced sleep paralysis. I woke up one night and realized I couldn't move, not even my fingers. My body felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. At first, I thought I was just dreaming until I saw something sitting on my chest. It looked like a shadow. No clear shape, but I could feel its weight pressing down on me. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. The shadow leaned closer, and I heard breathing. Deep, slow, and wet. Its face got close enough that I could feel its warmth on my cheek. Then, right in my ear, it whispered, "You shouldn't have opened your eyes." The moment it said that, I was free. I jumped out of bed gasping, drenched in sweat. But here's the part that haunts me. The mark. 2 faint finger-shaped bruises on my chest the next morning. For some people, it's a one-time nightmare. For others, it becomes a nightly visitor, like in the next story. Our second story comes from a college student named Maria, who moved into an old off-campus house with her friends. The house was cheap, but it had a history. The landlord mentioned it was built in the early 1900s. Maria didn't think much of it until her sleep paralysis started. The first few times, it was just the usual, feeling frozen, a sense of dread. But then it got more specific. She would wake up, unable to move, and hear music. It sounded like an old scratchy record of a child's lullaby, playing from the corner of her room where an old wooden rocking chair sat. Night after night, the music would start, and the chair would begin to rock. Slowly at first, then faster and faster, as if someone was sitting in it. Maria would lie there, heart pounding, forced to watch this empty chair rock violently in the dark. One night, it was different. The music started, the chair rocked, but this time, a figure started to form in it. It was small, like a child, but its features were distorted, elongated. It wasn't a shadow. It had substance. It slowly stood up from the rocking chair and began to walk towards her bed. Each step was accompanied by a soft, dragging sound, like fabric on wood. Maria tried with all her might to scream for her roommates, but her throat was locked tight. The childlike figure reached her bedside and just stood there, staring down at her with what looked like empty sockets for eyes. It didn't touch her. It didn't speak. It just watched, its head tilted, while the lullaby played on and on. Just as she felt she was about to lose her mind, the music faded and she could move again. The figure was gone. The next day, Maria and her friends found a loose floorboard under her bed. Inside was a small, dusty music box and a single child's shoe. They moved out at the end of the month. Sometimes the horror isn't what you see, but what you hear. Our final story demonstrates just how terrifying the mind can be when it's trapped. This last account comes from a man named David, a long-haul truck driver who often slept in his cab at desolate rest stops. He was used to strange noises and feeling uneasy, but nothing prepared him for this. One night, parked somewhere in the middle of the Arizona desert, he woke up paralyzed. His eyes were open, and he was staring at the ceiling of his truck's sleeper cab. The first thing he noticed was the silence. The usual hum of the engine and the distant sound of the highway were gone. It was a dead, suffocating quiet. Then he heard a tap. A single, sharp tap on the driver's side window. He couldn't turn his head, but his eyes darted to the side, trying to see. Tap, tap, tap. It was rhythmic, deliberate. His heart began to race. He was locked inside, paralyzed, with someone, or something, knocking on his window in the middle of nowhere. The tapping stopped and he heard a handle being tried. The jiggle of the locked door handle was loud in the silence. It stopped. Then he heard it on the passenger side. A tap, then the jiggle of that handle. It was circling the truck. It went to the back and he heard scratching on the metal door of the trailer. Slow, deliberate scratches like nails dragging down a chalkboard. Every sound was amplified, echoing inside his skull. He lay there for what felt like hours, listening to this unseen entity test every single entry point of his truck. The most terrifying part? He heard a soft, conversational voice whisper right next to his ear, as if someone was in the cab with him. It said, "Sooner or later, you'll have to open one." Then, just as suddenly as it started, he felt a jolt and could move again. The first thing he did was start the engine and drive. He didn't stop until the sun came up. He never found any scratches on his truck, no handprints, nothing, but he never slept at a remote rest stop again. Sleep paralysis blurs the line between the waking world and the world of nightmares. Are these figures just creations of a half-awake mind, or are they something more? Something that takes advantage of us when we are at our most vulnerable? For some people, it's a one-time nightmare.